I'm actually pretty pretty today. The sound was really going to be a running gag on this channel. So sorry, I've totally forgot to put this thing on. But welcome to my channel. This is a planned stream. Well, it is now, because I wanted to finish up what we've done last night. If you have seen the stream, you know we're busy replicating my mom's embroidered satchel, which she has made when she was about 14. So I'm going to do this because for the last 26 years I only did cross stitching, and because I'm on Facebook on several embroidery groups on which they do crewel embroidery, and they're doing well, just amazing stuff, and I want to learn that too, because cross stitching is fine, but it's getting a bit dull. I'd like to welcome you in my journey through learning freestyle and crewel embroidery. You see here an empty space. This space is going to be a little bit more full when I'm hitting the 50 followers, because then here's going to be a very big hoop, and with every sub I will make a line in freehand embroidery. So to learn, so please subscribe when I hit 50, which is I now have 11 followers, so it's going to take a while, but you'll be welcome to my channel anytime, even if you're just watching. Just watching is fine as well. So welcome today, welcome to my channel, and before we go in to do some embroidery, I will let you know what you need to do this project, and I probably have to go that way. So here it comes. Just do this. And you don't see it because it's on another day, of course. So what you need is a pair of embroidery scissors, which I have here. You need Aida fabric. Everything on this list is also on the information page of my channel, so if you don't see anything right now, just watch on the info page and you can read it back, or just connect to my Facebook page, and you will be fine as well. The seam allowance will be about I don't know, half of a centimeter, because we have to stitch it together, and we're going to do everything by hand, so it's going to be a really nice journey. You will need DMC plying thread. There are 6 strands in it, and you will need it. You will just have to pick a few of your favorite colors, or if you just have a stash like I have or my mom have, you can use all threads. It's just a practicing thing to make. You will also need embroidery pins, needles, and you will need a pin cushion or needle minders. You will need patience and tea or coffee or anything every other thing of your liking, and well, have a good mood and just starting. I'm fresh and fruity. It's now 3:30, and we're going to start to finish up what we've done yesterday, so have a lot of fun. So yeah, we're back on the desk. Last night we did 4 stitches. We based this fabric in a round, and then we have made a back stitch on the top, and we've done half cross stitch to the left, and we have done a half cross stitch to the right, and we're now going to make a full cross stitch in purple, which is the line. You can see we have done half because I really got tired last night, and then I decided to quit. So I have put my needle in my work because otherwise I always losing my needles, because I just love getting for some reason I'm just like I'm finding needles everywhere, because that's how it goes when you like stitching. Same as if you're smoking, you will be collecting lighters as well, and if you stop smoking, you'll find yourself collecting other things like I have a nice collection of seam rippers, because for some reason I'm always sticking them in my pockets like I did with my lighters when I was smoking. So I have a very nice collection of seam rippers everywhere, but for some odd reason I cannot find a single one at the moment. So we're now going to start again. So we're going to go into one of the and then we're going to put it in back diagonal. We're going to go down and diagonal. Just one down. And we're going to put it in the next whole diagonal. And so we're going to finish the whole strip. So, almost done. Well, not almost, but nearly there. And as you can see, I know my cross stitches. So I'm now going to pull this the other way just to see whether you can see it or not, because the colors are very shallow to see on the video. But I'm making pictures afterwards. I just have to close the webcam for a while. So you can see it better and have a better look on my hands to see what I'm doing, because I'm here to show you how to embroider, so it's not about seeing my face. For the stream, I'm using 2 references. One from the US, from Needle and Thread, from Mary Corbett, and I'm using the Take a Stitch Every Tuesday from pinnacle.co.au or just .com. They are both very big in embroidery, and I'm using their lead or instructions to do the other stitches, because there are 171 stitches to learn from today, and we're not going to do them all, but we're going to quite a few. And like I said, when I can have subs, I will stitch a line for every sub I get, and that will make a very nice piece of art, I think. So, but for now I'm only on 11 followers, so hit the follow button if you see this stream on a later time. You're always welcome. I don't mind whether you're a guy, girl, what your sexual thing is. I really can't give a damn, as long as you like embroidery, thread, needle and thread, and talk about yarn. You're welcome, because yarn is my thing. Yarn and needle and thread. But we're going to do some great things, I guess, because for me this is a journey as well. I have been doing cross stitches for about 26 years now, and it's quite a while. But now I'm on the step of doing other stitches as well, because cross stitching is very, very, very nice, and I have quite a few projects to finish up, which maybe come later in as well, because on that project I have to do some threads today as well, because I want to finish it. Not because I want to finish it, just because my heart says it has to be finished. And that's some different thing. I have to get back because for some reason this is stuck, and I have to figure out what's going on. I'm not sure whether this is going wrong, so I'm just going to quit this, using this thread by finishing it up. I'm just putting my needles through the purple thread and taking my embroidery scissors and cut the thing off. This will go to my trash thread pile, and we're going to take another if you're buying DMC, if you're buying some embroidery floss for your project to embroider along with me, I would suggest you're using the normal DMC colors, because they're everywhere. You can buy them everywhere, and they're very easy to find. They're very easy to work with. I'm not a fan of DMC thread, just because I like to work with Anchor colors from 18, but now I work with DMC as well, and they're fine. I'm still in love with the coloring of Anchor, but everybody has their own has their own favorite brand. DMC is the one who goes most, who is just the most popular and most sold. but I started out with making Forever Friends bears when I was 18. I even have one at my desk. This is a bear I made when I was about 19 or so, and it's still a pretty picture. So it's still on my desk. I framed this one myself with just an IKEA frame, and it still is beautiful, and I still love to watch it. So it's timeless. Okay. We're almost there, as you can see. So, almost there. So why do I want to do freehand? Well, I'm doing cross stitches for about 26 years now, and I love it to death. But and it's just an easy stitch to begin with because it's very predictable. It's everywhere the same. There are no special needs of the stitch, and you can make lovely designs with it. But after almost 30 years, I just want to learn something new, and because I found the videos of Bernadette Banner on YouTube, and she's constructing Victorian clothing, and she does it preferably by hand because she stitches the way it was stitched in that time period. So if she makes well, clothing from the 1700s, there wasn't a machine yet, so she only uses a hand stitching. So yeah, well, so actually because of her, I've found how you call it, a need to learn hand stitching myself, because it's such a nice craft to know, and you never know when you have to sew something and there isn't a machine available or around, or you're just sitting at the side of the water with someone who loves to fish, and then you can take your work, your sewing work with you, and just do your sewing work, and you don't have to be bothered about have no machine around. You only have to worry about to not have grass on your on your fabric, but that's another story, of course. But you can do it. You can do it if you fancy that. So if you want to go to the beach, you can take your sewing projects with you. You don't need a machine to take with you. You don't need to worry about electricity or whatever. And it's also a nice way to mentor thoughts, which is very nice in this time of COVID-19 and all the stuff happening around the world. It's a really nice way to ease your mind, step away from society, create your own world, and just be thankful for it. So now we're at the end of the row, and on the other two rows we did this. We're just going to step it down and quitted we just ended the thread. We don't do that now. We're just going to go on the bottom, on the one pull down. We're going to step it back in to the front. Now we have to pull the green out because otherwise it's showing. And then we're going to go diagonal the other way. So instead of making 2 lines, we're making 2 lines together on the same row. I'm not sure whether you can see it or not. So now we're going down and make it whole cross stitches. So as you can see, it's filling up the lines, and I'm not sure whether I can get it sharp on camera. I maybe have to I'm going to have a little break from now because I want to turn my camera, because then I can make it sharper, I guess. So we'll be back within 10 minutes. I'm not away, I just have to pull off my my audio, and we're going to be back within 10 to 15 minutes. So take a break, take a snack, go to the toilet, replace your thread if you have to, and we'll see you in a bit. Nee, ik moet die andere kant hebben. Hi there, welcome back. I see I got another viewer. Welcome to my channel. Today we're working on a satchel my mom has made when she was a teen. I just adjusted my camera settings, so I got it a bit sharper. So welcome. Please feel free to chat with me while working on. I try to answer all of your questions if you have them. So now we're working on a row of cross stitches. Let me see if I can show where I'm working on, because I have to. That's maybe better to to do it this way. I'm a bit what's there? I have to. It's a bit weird. I just changed my camera settings and I'm a bit lost. I feel like I'm playing a game, a shooter, in which I'm lost again. But here I am, I guess. So I'm there. So I'm now cutting off the green thread because it's getting me insane. I love the color, but it's dreading me out. So now going back to the full cross stitch and see where I am stopped. This is so much sharper. Now you can see the holes in the fabric to work with and how you put the stitches in. The more you try, the more you... It wasn't imitating me. Okay, bye-bye. Poor me. I still have one viewer, and that's probably myself. But I know my streams are watched quite a bit after I stopped streaming, so just keep on. Well, in that case, I'm just going to put on my webcam again. So there's a face there as well, besides only a voice. Okay. I'm going to So yeah, this is pretty boring to watch maybe, but it's very necessary to learn the stitches before you're going to try them on a freehand stitching. Because if you don't know the stitches, you're probably going to make a mess out of it, and then you're going to stop because you don't like what you're seeing. So finishing up this line, and then we might go back to the other thing I'm working on with. As you can see, just bear with me because I'm a bit confused. So you can see the stitches coming up. I just have to put them up so you can see it much better. Here you have on top. Okay, so where's my camera? I'm getting a bit annoyed. Okay, on top you have the basting stitch. On second you have the back stitch. Then you have the half cross stitch in orange to the left, the pink cross stitch to the right. On the third row and on the fourth row it's like the left stitch and the right stitch all together, which makes a full cross stitch. So we're going to finish that one up, and you're always do your cross stitches from the left to the right and then from the right to the left. So whether you're left-handed or right-handed, one side always goes faster than the other. But like said, the more you do it, the more you get experience, the faster everything will go. Just see here that there's a purple thingy. Wants to make a mess out of it. So now we're going to pull that one up. So it won't annoy me. Okay. It's still there. Where does this come from? At least I had about 2 viewers for a while. So now finishing up the rest of the lines. Trying to get my fabric in place to show on camera. This is really bothering me. I can't see. I really can't see where this little purple thread is coming from. Ah, okay. The purple thread is coming from. It's the one we've stopped or quitted to get a new fresh purple thread. So yeah, it's taking a while. It's not being on a machine and just doing the fastest sewing, but like I said, if you don't have a machine and there's no electricity available and you want to sew, or you just want to embroider, or you want to make sure your pants is fixed because there's a hole in it and you don't have a machine around, but you have some thread, you have a needle, you can use one of those 171 stitches to learn to get your pens back on your butt, because otherwise you're just going to drop it somewhere and never look at it again, and then you say, well, I will do it when I have time or when there's a machine around, and then you're spending hours and hours watching Netflix or doing something else and just wasting your time. And in the meanwhile, you could have fixed your pens by just taking a needle and a pair of threads and just putting on your favorite cooking show on Netflix, or whatever you fancy, which is just wallpaper to you, and then you can just finish your pants, put it back on your butt, and I've watched a very decent cooking show on Netflix, which I tend to avoid lately because they're all weird, and they're becoming more weird every season. So, and I do not mind weird because everybody's weird, but this kind of weirdness is like a bit like too much. It's like everybody has to yell. It's like, here I am. I can make cupcakes. And then we have Zumbo, who makes awesome desserts. I really have to admit that, but I surely do not know whether his desserts are really nice because people idolizing this man, or that he really can bake great cakes. It's the same with Buddy from the TLC series. They say he's never in the bakery unless he has to film, which is the same with Pon thingy, which from Vegas, which one of them is an actor, and everything is staged, so nothing is really happening actually, and they're only in the shop when they have to film with the customers. So it's a big joke, actually. Which I do understand because it's television and it needs to be scripted. But it's also nice to see real people instead of Kardashian style television. Which is fun sometimes as well. There's nothing wrong with Kim Kardashian. There's nothing wrong with the Kardashians. But it's really staged. And that's fine. But I have now more respect for Kim Kardashian than I had a few years ago. But I'm not sure whether I would vote on her if she would run for president. And I also didn't know that Kanye West was running for president this year, because I really thought it was a joke that he was running for president, but I'd rather vote for Kim than for Kanye, because I do think Kim is very clever, not only as a business woman but also as a person, and her father was a lawyer, so she must have inherited at least a few of his brain cells. Okay, so see, we have now full cross stitching done. So we're going to the end of the road again, and not by Boyz II Men, but just by stitching it one by one. Unfortunately, it's less a hype to embroider than to knit or to crochet, but that just because most of the times you can really make something out of a knitting thing, and with crocheting you can make a funny arimiguri from it, or cuddly toys, or whatever you want to, scarves, gloves, hats, whatsoever. But like I said, this is like a basic stitching course, which is going to expand your knowledge of stitching a lot. And if you don't enjoy it, then I would, because it's my journey to get the stitches done. Just there. And for me, I do think this says more for me than it will say to you. Maybe it's not. Just look at it. It's going to be much more clearer now what we're doing. We're making straight lines, and we're just practicing embroidery stitches. So if you want to calm your mind, if you want to ease your mind, just embroider along with me, because you never have enough knowledge of stitches. And maybe that's why I like Bernadette Benner that much, because even though she's of my age, she really has a passion for stitches and for doing learning stuff. I'm not really into the Victorian age, but I do think the craft of sewing and doing things the way they did in that area of time shouldn't be that because we like to play video games today, or because we're very busy with having a career, being a wife, being a mother, and being a partner for your partner, and try to do things for yourself as well. So yeah, it's a way to relax, to enjoy yourself, and to ease your mind, calm your mind. So sew along with me, stitch with me, because it's going to be great. These videos, I'm loading them up to YouTube as well, so you can, if you miss them on Twitch, you can always find them on YouTube. My social handlers are in the right corner of the screen, so you can always find me there. I now have to pull out the orange thread before I'm going to scream, because I don't like orange thread in my purple. I'm very precise in my colors, because you have to, because we're going to do some embroidery in I first just want to be honest, I just want to learn all those pretty stitches myself and to make some very nice work doing freehand, because I was making a hot kettle bag for my parents because my mom's sick, and I wanted to do her monogram on the back, on the hot kettle bag, and I found out my monogramming is sucky. So now my camera has stopped. Just have to check whether the camera is on standard. Which is awesome. Camera standard. And then I can there we are again. Yeah, awesome. Awesome. This is not awesome. Like I said, I don't like threads, and I don't like them on my. Just see whether I can make things sharper. Yeah. This is that way. So I want to just let me see whether I can make it more clear for you. Yeah. So here we are again. We're going to thread, and we're still not done. And yeah, I know it's quite a bit of work, but you get the hang of it if you try it a lot, and you're not going to figure out how it works if you're doing just small bits of it. So that's why I decided to have a long way to took a big project for you to start with, because then again, because did you go? So, ending this, and it goes on the thread pile. I'm just going to cut off here. I'm going to cut this one off because that's not existing anymore. That one's off too. That one's off. Okay, we're back. We're taking the last bit of we're taking off 2 pieces of strands. Oh well, we have 2 left, so that's great. So if I had more viewers, I would now ask whether you want to continue to do a new stitch, or do you want to see another project, or do Silhouette Studio with me. That will be fun as well. So, back on. Just want to show you that on the back I've got that even though I did do double stitches on the front of the purple, the thread is still only a stripe. So it doesn't matter whether you're doing a stripe, well, it doesn't matter whether you do 1, 2 or 3 threads over it, it still stays a stripe. So finishing up this row. I'm now loading this project also up on YouTube, so you can watch it there as well. No problem. It's on my personal account, so and it can be found on the same terms I use here. So no worries. Be happy. Enjoy the Sunday or whatever day you're watching. But this is taped on a Sunday. So yeah, enjoy your Sunday. Also great that I don't have to record this what I'm doing, because it's going to be directly connecting to YouTube as well. So when I'm finishing up, I'm going to well, when I'm done, I'm going to load this one up on YouTube as well, as I did with oh, again, I have to fix this as well. I have enough thread. There's enough to work with. Please be aware of the fact that the back of your embroidery has to be as nice as on front. So you really have to focus on your work. And just be merry and just keep on doing this, even though people in your environment say, well, that's just a very numb hobby. So sometimes I just like to be numb, because as a woman you have Google in your head, you associate everything with anything the whole day. So if this is my numb space, I'm very happy with that. But it's boring, it's for old ladies. I said, well, hell no. It's for any age. Just as long as you enjoy it, just do it. Don't let other people tell you what to do and how to live. Even if they're your best friends, even if it's your partner, anyone. Just check, just do a camera check again, because I bended over to my focus zone again, and I forgot to check off the camera. So I am doing some last bits and pieces of the whole cross stitch. And then I'm done with this row, and then we're going to repair the first row because something happened there. So I have to repair that before it's being I do think I'm going to do the back stitch again on the back, because then I know how much space I have, and I do think it's nice to end with the back stitch on both sides. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm not sure whether I'm going to stream for a long time, but maybe I do. Maybe because I just do it because it's Sunday. Maybe because I love to be not watched by people because I'm streaming. That's also a possibility, of course. But then again, we're at the end of the row. Yeah, we're here. We now have like the thread we were working with, and we have to pull out a bit of the basing stitch because we're not needing that anymore because we already put thread in it. So now we're going to put some thread on the needle and just pull it through and get the basing stitch out of it, and just pull it a bit together and cut the thread off. So now we have to get another 2 thread, and of course I have a yarn stash with thread I'm not using anymore, or which is too big to use, or which I save up to repair my embroidery, because those things happen. So I now have to start my thread, and I only have to fix 1 stitch. At the end of when we have stitched all our stitches, I'm going to iron it and press it, and then well, I'm first going to wash it, and then I'm going to press it because I need to make sure everything is neat and tidy. And once it's pressed and done, we're going to line it, and after the lining and after putting in I'm going to actually ironing it together, so it's going to be like a flat thingy. Then we're going to ironing it, and then we're going to put the lining in it. We're going to pick some pockets, and maybe we're going to do a zipper on this side or the other side. So, and we're all going to put it in by hand. Yes guys, we're going to do it by hand. We're not gonna use a machine. Yay! I'm so very looking forward to this project. It's probably going to take a year, but that's not a problem because we're with COVID and we're stuck in the house. So we have all winter to work on. I might even stream it daily, maybe. Well, why not? So now we have finished and fixed our thread. We're just going to pull the thread through the orange underneath. Just make sure you don't pick any of the orange threads on the front. What we can make sure we just pick the other way, and then we're going to close this up as well, so it's stuck and it's not going to move. Moving is not an option. Okay, well, don't forget to subscribe, to follow me, to even if you're watching on another time, and just follow me. Subscribe on me if you're watching on YouTube, so you will notified it when I'm having a new video up on this project. So now, as you see, you can't see anything up front, but everything is closed up. So now we're going to get the scissors again, and it's not a very elegant solution, but it's a solution, and every solution counts, as long as it looks the way I want it on front. So now we're going to do the back stitch again on the back, on the end of the fabric. I'm going to take a decent amount of thread. We're probably going to just going to take it again from the midst of my finger until my elbow. Just a little bit longer. That's okay, but if you do it longer, then you probably will be getting knots in your work. So, taking 2 strands off again, and why this piece it just goes off. I have 2 strands. 1, 2. I don't get this. Normally there are like 4 or 6 strands on each color, and now I'm having 3. So it might be used already. So this one is going on the pile of thread. On each DMC color you will buy, there's 8 meters of thread on it. So now we have like 40 centimeters to work on, and we're going to get about a centimeter down on the fabric. We're going to start here, just at the end. And now we're going to do the same as we did on the other side. So we're going two in. Just see where my hands. Where is my camera? There it is. Just managing to get a bit accustomed to this camera. I just see my hands and don't in my hands. There's the there's the thread. There's the camera. Almost there. There we are. There we go. Go 2 in. We go 2 in. Go 4 underneath. And then we go 2 back. 4 up front. And then we're going to do. And this is how we're going to do it all up to the other side. So see you on the other side. Now once you get a hang of this, it's going to be much more fun because then you know, oh, I really like it. You can also try this on a smaller piece, but because I really think the more you do, the sooner you will get a hang of it. The sooner you will get a hang of it, the sooner you will like it. The earlier you get addicted to it. And this addiction is pretty awesome. So you can just go into your own world. No one will know where you are. And you can just calm and ease your mind. And like I said on an earlier stream, I even take this with me when I'm going to visit my friends. I even now have a embroidery date with a friend. So when COVID's over, we're just going to sit together at a fireplace with a big mug of cocoa and with whipped cream, and then we're just going to talk and embroider. And I do think that will be fine. That will be a great that will be a great way to celebrate friendship. With other girlfriends, I just do sewing projects together. I have taken sewing lessons with one of my best friends, and yeah, that was a blast, but we moved, so I had to stop there, unfortunately. But hey, that's life, they say. So as you see, the more you're getting experience, the less you have to focus on talking and doing your stitches, because it's going to be like a normal way of living. The only thing what I really don't like is that the other tasks you have, like doing chores in the house, you will completely forget that, because your threads are the most important thing in life at some point. And it's really like, yeah, it's really becoming a way of life and just something you can rely on. It's almost the same as having a pet, only you don't have to go outside. You can take care of it, you can nurture it, you can have a passion about it. Wow, I'm already almost 2 hours in the stream. 1.5 hours. It's pretty much. When I started 2 weeks ago, I never knew I was going to do a 1.5 hour stream, and just thinking like, oh, I'm only an hour and a half in. Because my first stream, which is also not showing, I was really like, do I want to do this? Am I really capable of doing this? But it's really fun to do. And sometimes I will do other things as well, like a silhouette cameo tutorials, or just practicing on just cleaning up my work there. Maybe I'm going to take you with me to some other things as well. You never know in life what's going to happen. So, closing up this thread again, putting it on the thread pile. Make sure your needle always is somewhere where you can see them, because otherwise you will lose it. And if you lose it, you can step on it, and if you step on it, it's going to take it's not going to be a lot of fun. So make sure it's safe. Make sure it's on a safe place, on a safe that you cannot be hurt by it, because if you're hurt by it, it's going to be a lot of pain. So, as you might understand, I have had that a few times, and it's no fun. It's just as worse as stepping on Lego. It's really no fun. And why is this trend? Because it's pretty much not the way I wanted to. Oh well, anyway, I have to step down for a couple of minutes. I will be right back. Maybe I'm going to make some tea. So, see you in a bit. now I'm going to split up the new thread into 2 strands again. So having 2 strands, well, I'm just going to pull them off. I'm just using now what I have, so I haven't checked. This is not a very long thread, so I have to stitch with it as much as I can. Just bear with me because, yeah, I'm doing it the right way. So once again, we're going to pull the thread through. It is very, on one hand, it's very nice. You see, it's very sharp. On the other side, I just have to figure out a way to get to it again. Okay, well, we're back again. We're just I have to find a way to get used to this camera angle. Makes me a bit sick. But getting there. This is not going to be a long run. I have to and because these are the thread on the binder are all little pieces, because I decided to use my mom's old embroidery floss, which is 56 years old, and so I just have to work with whatever I have. And now we have the fun of stitching it in place. But hey, everything can be solved, like I said. Nothing has a mill for it. You just have to think back what you have done and just do it and start over again, because that's how it works. Now, if you make an error, you just say sorry and go back and just have to cut these threads off, because otherwise they're going further very soon. That's also on the fabric thread pile. Going to put away the scissors because I don't need them. So this is going to be a satchel to store your floss, your scissors, your hoops, everything you would like to work with. And it's made by you, by your own hands, by your own thoughts, by your own existence. So it will be great fun to use and to take it with you and to tell people about the stitches you have made and the journey you have gone through to get to this point. So we're almost at the end of the thread again, and I'm not going to lay it down because otherwise the thread will be out before I reach the end. And sometimes I will do stitches at both sides because then I think, wow, that's fun, I want to do this again. And I now do a back stitch to make sure the thread bond that I have enough, that will have enough fabric to work with the seam allowance at the end of the project. So actually I'm just making sure this is not going to happen. So I have to pull this thread twice to the stitch to the fabric. Just where's my camera? There's a part of the camera, but where? There are my nails, there are my fingers. Yay. So now I'm going to pull this through twice. Here. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, my dad came in. He wanted to know what we're going to eat for dinner. And I don't want to cook. I haven't told him yet. But anyway, we're going to take a new thread. I'm staying a while with my parents, so it's very handy due to COVID that I can be there to help them, but I'd rather be somewhere else. But when I came here, I didn't know how long it would take for me to go back to the old situation, and I'm not sure whether I'm going back to the old situation. But for now it's okay. But I won't talk about my parents because they won't like that. And I did not rather not talk about them as well. Because I have my own life. Just go there. And then I try to finish this line with this thread. When it comes to basting stitches, it doesn't matter where you put the how long you're going to make the stitches. As you can see, or if you have seen it before, I make them pretty even, but that's just because I probably have experience. I just have an eye for it, but it actually doesn't matter. But if you do a backstitch, it has to be even. It all has to be the same amount of thread, because it has to look neat and even and nice and precise. So unless it's been told other in a pattern, you just have to backstitch your backstitch how you thought it would be. So if you have 3-2, you have to stick to 3-2. If you like I did 2-2, you have to stick to 2-2 the whole line, because otherwise it doesn't look that nice in the end, unless you just are having a particular mood and you just want to say, well, I'm a rebel and I want to do it differently. So that's also that can be also the case, of course. I mean, but then again, later on, if your mood has tempered and you're just like, oh, what the hell do I have done? You have to pull all the thread out. So think about what you're doing and what you're trying to aim with your project. If you're doing a freehand, it's not a problem. If you're having a mood swing, fine. But in a pattern, it's almost always the case that you have to stick to the pattern. So I'm almost at the end of this thread. Yay. So I'm now going to, in the end of the, and now I'm going to close up this thread. And cut off the excess thread. And put that on the back. So where's my needle? There's my needle. So now I have just one piece of petrol thingy left. So that's going to be on the petrol color again. What we have done today is we have made a full cross stitch, a full line of it actually. Oh, I left my nails. And I haven't done anything with them, but wow. They look healthy. So I made a back stitch here. This is a half cross stitch to the left, a half cross stitch to the right, and a full cross stitch. And then on the other side we have made a back stitch as well. So we're completely... Hey Yummy Rugs, thank you for joining. I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing today? So I hope you're still here, because I haven't seen you typing, so sorry. But how are you doing today? Do you like to embroider yourself, or I do think you're gone. Hi Yummy Rocks. It was fun. Sorry I've missed you. I was too focused on my work. But that's what you have when you do embroidery. I'm now wondering whether I would go through the other project I'm doing. Now I really have to cut all excess thread off because it's starting to go out, and I don't like that. I like to go out, but I don't like my fabric to go out. Normally, if you have a serger at home, you can also use a serger to do the base stitching, and but then you have to make sure you have a little bit more more embroidery fabric to work with, because you have to stick to the pattern, of course, because we are making a satchel and we're going to line it. I'm just going to show you the inside of the work as well. Oh, this is really funny to work with, but I'm really happy that it's very clear, so you can see it's nice and neat and flat. And this is how it's supposed to look like on the back. The neater, the better, the more precise you are doing this, the better, the prettier your work looks like in the end. I'm doing all the excess off immediately, because I don't want to been caught in a thread war in somewhere in the middle. I'm sorry, I don't have COVID, but I really had to cough. So I hope there's some people in the chats who are want to talk to me, and if not, what am I going to do? I think I just put my put this one away, because I do think we have finished that. I will make a picture of it later, and I will put it on somewhere the other way. Yeah, there are my social media handles, and you can find me there, so you can always just contact me and see more pictures of the progress made on this project. I'm really happy, because I really see progress already into this. Very nice. Just see whether I can see my camera, and just to sorry, I just have to, I'm using my phone as a second camera, so it's really fun to do, but it's also a bit of a hassle, because I can't not. Oh well, we have to deal with it. So this is what is this is the end result of today's finishing up. I hope you like it, and we'll see you. I do think tomorrow night, and then we're going to start a new stitch, which is the herringbone stitch. I haven't tried that one yet, so I'm going to be on a journey with you. So I will see you tomorrow night. Bye for now.